Bukayo Saka, welcome to my team, but who am I getting rid of? Welcome to the GW14 YouTube show. Hope you guys are well and you're looking forward to Gameweek 14. It is, of course, the Tuesday deadline this week. So happy Monday to you all, dropping my team selection really early this week. And the big decision for many will be what premium midfielder are they now buying? In today's show, we're going to compare Bruno, Saka and Palmer. We're going to look at captaincy and, of course, we're going to look at my big decision this week. Guys, if you're enjoying the show so far, hit those buttons, like, please do subscribe if you're new around here, and make sure you drop a comment as well. Look forward to seeing them and replying. So we're going to kick off. I was looking in the Scout members area earlier, just looking at the visual stuff. You guys know I don't love too many stats. I like the visual stuff. So you can now on the Scout app see stuff like this. So comparing Saka in red, Palmer in blue, Bruno in green, we can see how they stack up against one another. The long and short of it is Saka is probably the best asset of the three right now. Palmer's still very good. We know he's had a few blanks, but when he hits well. And Bruno, given his price point is a couple of million cheaper than these two, Bruno's still very, very good. There's a slight error, by the way. Cole Palmer's bonus points should be higher. That dip in the middle in blue isn't right. But we can see the BPS baseline on the right-hand side at 3 o'clock. That's accurate. We can see BPS baseline, goal attempts, really, really similar. All three of them in the same sort of categories there at 9 o'clock and 3 o'clock. But where Saka wins out is things like goal attempts at the bottom, assists, penalty area touches, shots in the box at the bottom, chances created. Saka is, I think, the best of the three, and many watching this will own 2 of the 3. You might be moving to the third one very soon. I think for the festive run, these 3 are all exceptional assets that you want to get in your team. And if you don't own Erling Haaland, well, you probably should own all 3, right? So this was on the Scout app. If you want to check out Scout for free and access things like this, they've got a 7-day free trial. It's a Black Friday offer. So there's a link in the description if you want to check it out. But yeah, genuinely completely free, no strings. So give it a go, guys. And let's have a look then at my team. But before we do, just mention, I'm giving away prizes for fun at the minute. I gave away a PS5 this very morning from Gameweek 13 to the best predictor in my Sleeper PickEm League. Scan the QR code, link in the description. You can join my PickEm League this week, ahead of the Tuesday deadline, to win a £100 Amazon voucher. Every week, we either give away a £100 Amazon voucher or a PS5, and there's monthly and season-long winners as well. So look, let's have a look at that bus team then. I'm fairly well set up. I had a green arrow in Game Week 13. Thank you, Sells, for another clean sheet. Thank you, Captain Cole Palmer, as well. So, and I'm glad I obviously brought in Mo Salah on that 4-point hit. So we're all right. We're slow and steady here. It's been a bit of a nightmare season, but I feel like I'm fairly well set now, having taken the 4-point hit as well to get Salah in the team. Obviously, João Pedro was disappointing, but I think he's a good long-term hold. I feel like I'm pretty well set up in terms of my bus team. You'll notice that Gabriel is flagged. The update on Gabriel, we saw him take that big punch from Fabianski, cleaned him out. I tweeted, better right hook than Jake Hall, I think Fabianski. But look, concussion protocol would mean if he goes off as a concussion sub, whether he's fine or not, he'd have to miss the Man United game. Arteta was smart. He didn't take him off in concussion sub. He just hooked him at half-time. It means that he'll probably be available, I think, to play. And Arteta said post-match it wasn't a concussion issue. It was, it probably should have come off concussion protocol, by the way. It was the previous injury we saw he had in Lisbon. It was a niggle. They were cruising. Let's just not risk him. So I expect Gabriel to come in and start. And the rest of the team looks like it's in all right shape. Like, you could argue I've got a little bit of a benching headache. At the moment, I've got Gabriel, I've got Rico Lewis, I've got Mikalenko. Lewis Hall will be a sub alongside Greaves. But there's an argument that, I don't know, Rico Lewis won't start, and therefore do I start one of my others? I'm going to punt on Rico Lewis, who started on the right-hand side for Man City against Liverpool, by the way. He played right midfield. He played left-back for England recently. He's played right-back most of the season. He's played centre-mid, Mr. Versatile Rico Lewis. And then in midfield, we look at it, and it's Palmer there at the moment, and Mbeumo and Bruno. One of them is leaving the team. Rodgers on the bench with Salah in the 11, and then João Pedro, Cunha and Solanke. All 3 have away games. Slightly annoying, those 3 forwards. And Rodgers has got a good fixture there on the bench. So it's an interesting one, because depending on my transfer, Rodgers could come in to the 11. So how are we looking? I've said from the top, I've got to bring in Saka. The plan was always Saka. He's rising in price. He's got really good fixtures, Saka. Like, Arsenal feel unplayable at the minute. With Odegaard back in the team, I can't tell you how good that is for Havertz, for Saka, for the whole attack. Since Odegaard's been back, they scored 5 in Lisbon. They were so convincing versus Forest. They scored a load against West Ham. And I think they're going to give Man United real problems in 14. I genuinely think you could captain Saka in 14. He's that good, and Arsenal are that good at the minute. I won't be captaining him. We'll talk about captaincy in a minute. Man United, Fulham, Everton, Palace, Ipswich, Brentford, Brighton, Spurs. They don't leave, other than Brighton away, they don't leave London till 18th of January when they play Aston Villa. Literally, they're just in London, home and away, other than Brighton, which is close to London. So that's a really interesting one for me. Saka's coming in. The plan was always to sell Bruno. But the way Bruno's been playing, and the way I think Man United are going to be improved under Amorim, I was encouraged to see Bruno play in the front three, right? We saw him in the front three against at the weekend on Sunday. And in the front three, he feels way more dangerous, right? We don't want to see him in the midfield too. So yeah, sure, it's Arsenal and Man City away in the next 3. I could bench him for Arsenal away, start Forest at home, and then City away feels like an okay fixture, the amount of chances they're conceding. And then after that, it's Bournemouth, Wolves, Newcastle. Like, I probably want to keep Bruno. So I'm thinking it will probably be Mbeumo out. But look, let's have a look at both scenarios and talk about money in the bank. Guys, thank you, by the way, for all the love. I'm seeing lots of you subscribing at the minute, which is really cool. I'd love to get that up before Christmas. And thank you for hitting the likes. It really helps the algorithm. If I sell Bruno, let's just check it on for size. I sell Bruno. I'd probably put Rodgers in my 11, but whatever. And Mbeumo down to first sub. It leaves me with 1.5 million in the bank. I look at this team and I go, 1.5 million would go a long way, Gianni. You could sell Mikalenko to Jurriën Timber, for example. A move I would quite like to make. Timber 5.5, playing really well. But I don't think I'll do that because I really do think Bruno is a nice hold. So what I'm thinking I'll do is I'll sell Mbeumo and I will play or keep Bruno. That leaves me with 0.6 in the bank. This team with 0.6 in the bank doesn't allow me to get to double Arsenal defence. So how do I do that? Well, maybe in time Solanke goes. I could definitely downgrade Solanke and I think I'm okay with that. Not straight away, he gets the Bournemouth away fixture. But a downgrade to Solanke would mean then I can say go Mikalenko to Timber. So maybe that's still the plan. But 0.6 in the bank, let's worry about here and now. How does this team look, right? Would you bench Bruno away at Arsenal? Or would you bench Morgan Rodgers at home to Brentford? Genuinely, I think I'd bench Bruno. And I know that sounds mental because he's been playing well. But Arsenal at home, I fancy them against United to keep a clean sheet. And I've got Gabriel in my team anyway. So this could very easily be Bruno on the bench or Rodgers on the bench. I'm not sure. Let's talk captaincy though. My transfer this week is going to be Saka. Very likely. I'd say I'm 75% likely to sell Mbeumo, 25% likely to sell Bruno. I'm selling one of them. Remember, it's for free. I've got loads of money in the bank. Captaincy. Wow. Guys, we got options and I'm surprised. I did a Twitter poll. 420 votes. This was only after 4 minutes. I did it just before recording. This sample will be accurate though. 420 is a big enough sample. 70% are going Cole Palmer. I think my plan was always Cole Palmer, but Salah versus Newcastle really could be an option. I don't think Saka and Haaland, well, Haaland I don't own. If you own Haaland, I think you probably do go there, but just to double down, triple down, quadruple down in all the ones you've missed out on recently. But what's really interesting for Salah is people see Newcastle away and see it's a hard fixture. Newcastle at St James's Park on Monday night, last Monday, a week ago, they lost to West Ham 2-0. They then went to Crystal Palace, and look at this from between the posts. This is the XG plot. If you watch my Sunday morning streams, you will see I do a lot of these XG plots. They really do show how the game's gone. Every chance, every line upwards is a chance. A big chance is a big line, a small chance is a little line. Look at the fun Crystal Palace had against Newcastle. Loads of big chances. Newcastle did nothing. 0.04 XG, and that was from an own goal. They had one shot. The 0.4 XG wasn't the own goal. The own goal was 0 XG. But they had 0.04 XG from a set piece. They had one shot all game. Nothing in open play. They relied on an own goal. Guys, they were so fortunate. I felt mugged off because I had Lewis Hall, right? Newcastle defender. Clean sheet was wiped out in the 94th minute from Daniel Munoz. I was like, oh, Gianni, you've been really unlucky there. Clean sheet wipe out 94th minute. Dude, look at this chart. I wasn't unlucky. I was unlucky that I was lucky Newcastle only conceded 1. So I look at this and go, if Crystal Palace can tear Newcastle apart, and I know Isak got injured, and I know that changed the game a bit, but that's no excuse. In fact, if you're a Newcastle fan travelling down to London, you should be ashamed of your team. That was a shocker. I think Saka has loads of fun against Newcastle. Salah. I think Salah is a really good captaincy option. So I'm not sold on Cole Palmer. I'm probably 40% Salah, 60% Cole Palmer. And look, this is why Cole Palmer's a great option. Look at this tweet. No Ramsdale, no Dibbling, no Harbour-Bellis, no Downs. Those 3 are suspended. Ramsdale's injured. So no goalkeeper, the best wide man, the best centre-back. Downs who scored, Cole Palmer should have fun against Southampton, and we know he's a flat-track bully. So Captain Cole Palmer did well for me in 13. It did need a late goal, and Enzo's positioning, Enzo playing almost like a dual number 10 with Palmer, is a little bit concerning because he eats up some of the Cole Palmer space. But even alongside Enzo, surely, is an absolutely great shout. So look, let me show you the captain matrix then. This is what I did when I was considering what premiums I want to own for Christmas. Now, I've gone for Saka, Salah, Palmer. It's a no Haaland draft. The middle one there in yellow. If you're on Haaland, you can see the combinations there with Salah and Palmer, with Saka and Palmer, as to who you might captain for the next few weeks. So the plan was, game week 14, if I go Saka, Salah, Palmer, I made this chart a week ago, and I want to keep using it as a reference point. It hopefully helps you guys too. The plan was Palmer this week, Salah. It's pretty much rotating between Salah and Palmer, and they do dovetail really nicely. So that's where we're at with captaincy. I'm 60% likely to go Salah. I'm 60% likely to go Palmer. I'm 75% likely to sell Mbeumo, not Bruno. But I'll be doing all of this, guys, on a 5-hour charity stream on Friday. So let's go back to my team. We'll put 0.6 in the bank, and we'll put Bruno in the team, he stays, and we'll leave Mbeumo out and Saka in. So this is the team I think I'll be going with. I'll present this to you on Tuesday, guys. Between 1 o'clock and 6 o'clock, which is the deadline, UK time, I'm going to do a 5-hour charity stream. Now, in that stream, we're going to have some famous faces come and join me. So make sure you come along for 1 week only, or just literally kicks off on the Tuesday lunchtime. Any donation given to Street Child United, they organise World Cups for Street Children, that's the charity of choice I'm going for, will be doubled. Pretty cool. You give a £5, they'll get a tenner. So hopefully you'll come along, if not to donate, just to watch me for 5 hours. And look, to see some very special guests, including a former England footballer who's very good at FPL. Guys, thank you for all the love. Thank you for hitting those buttons. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Happy Monday. Have a good week. The best weeks are the ones where there's a midweek deadline and then another end of the week deadline. FPL is thick and fast, and we absolutely love it. On your way out, guys, hit subscribe, hit like, drop a comment, and I'll see you on Tuesday for that 5-hour, it's going to kill me, deadline stream. Bye-bye.